Welcome on in here to Sports Memo Today. Happy to be here back with you. And man, did I miss you? I hope that you missed me. But I know Joe Ranieri doing a great job holding things down here while I was getting a little tan. Can't you tell? Now I'm ready and rocking for the summer months, and vacation season is over for us here at Sports Memo, as just because some leagues are coming to a close here with the NBA and the NHL playoffs doesn't mean we'll be getting you actionable info that you know and love in 30 minutes or less right here on Sports Memo Today all summer long. I'm your host, Dan Alexander, and you see beside me here today, two great guests coming on. We got Jesse Schule. He's going to be taking a look at what's going on the ice. It's all set. We got the Vegas Golden Knights against Joe Ranieri's Florida Panthers in the NHL Stanley Cup Finals. We'll have a thought on Game 1 from Jesse Schule. He's also got a future that he thinks just might be worth a wager on the Conn Smythe Trophy. And also going to be batting cleanup here. We got Moneyline Matt. He's going to be taking a look at the NBA Finals as he's got a series spread for you. And he also thinks he might know who's going to be dropping buckets, much like he did against the LA Lakers. He's got a top point scorer coming your way on the show here today. So a lot of plus money. You know, we love that here. So let's get right into it on a $2 Tuesday and welcome in one of those $2 Tuesday handicappers over at sportsmemo.com. A game of the week for my man Jesse Schule, the Iceman. I know you're pumped about that $2 play. So first, tell people about that, and then let's get into this Vegas Golden Knights and Florida Panthers series, man. How's it going?
It's going good. Yeah, I think the last time I seen you, Dan, I was giving out a play on the Denver Nuggets to come out of the Western Conference at plus 325 odds. So hopefully we can pick up right where we left off. And the summer months, I'm down to business in the summer months. That's my time to shine. But yeah, I'm going to look at the parallels between the Stanley Cup final and the NBA finals because there's so many commonalities here. We got 2 8 seeds, both from Florida, the Florida Panthers and the Miami Heat, and they're facing 2 Western Conference powerhouse number 1 seeds. Both series involve a team that is coming off of a sweep and a team that's played a long, lengthy series. The parallels end, though, with the price. You got the Denver Nuggets at over a 4-1 favorite to win the NBA Finals, but the Vegas Golden Knights are just a small favorite to win the Stanley Cup Finals. And there is plenty of separation between these two teams, in my opinion. Vegas finished the regular season with 111 points. Florida finished the regular season with 92 points, a difference of 19 points. Long layoff for Florida. I think that's a bit of a momentum killer. Florida was riding the wave with a hot goaltender in Sergei Bobrovsky. Having him on the shelf for 10 days prior to Game 1 can't be a great thing. Like I said, Florida was riding momentum, and, nothing kills momentum like a 10-day layoff. So I like Vegas at this price. Hockey is the theme in the NHL is parity, but it's not like 8 seeds win the Stanley Cup all that often. It's only happened once in history. The LA Kings did it. Florida tries to become the second team to do it, but in my mind, Vegas is the better team. They've got the depth, more talent, and I will take Las Vegas to win Game 1 and win the series at plus 140.
Ooh, whenever the Derby cap is out and the plus money is flowing, those bookmakers start quaking in their boots, JS. Check them out at sm.buzz/Jesse Schule. So not only thinking Vegas Golden Knights going to start off the series strong, also thinking they're going to take the series and found a way to get it at a plus money price. I know our producer behind the scenes, our main man, Eric, is excited to hear that his Vegas Golden Knights could be lifting that trophy for the second time in their tenure. All right, well, so you have any more thoughts on this Vegas Golden Knights series? Because I know you're not only thinking about what's going to happen team-wide, you're also trying to ISO in. Jonathan Marchessault, what do you think? You think he might be worth a sprinkle at some nice plus money to get that Conn Smythe trophy, essentially the MVP of the final, so to speak?
I do. And this is more parallels here. You look at Joker to win the MVP in the NBA Finals, huge favorite.
Yeah.
Right winger Jonathan Marchessault is the leading scorer for the Vegas Golden Knights. He led the team in the regular season in goals. He's leading the team in the playoffs in scoring. And the price, you get plus 625 on Marchessault to win the Conn Smythe. And for those who aren't big hockey fans, the Conn Smythe is essentially the finals MVP. Marchessault's got as good a chance as any. He's on what should be the winning team, and he's their leading scorer. As long as a goaltender doesn't snag it, I like his chances to hoist the Conn Smythe Trophy and the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, and a terrific hockey name, by the way, for Marchessault. It's like a portmanteau of marching and assault. So he's going to march right to the front of the line, assault the opponents, and then lift that Conn Smythe. There you go, Jesse. See, you didn't get this kind of cornball jokes out of our man Joe Ranieri like you're going to get from me. So I know you're excited about the $2 Tuesday that you have posted up and over at your page right now. People can combine that with Mark Zinno's first ever 5% play over at sportsmemo.com. His first since he has joined us there. So on your side of the ledger, I know it's been quite the run that you've been on. So why should people be riding with you on this $2 Tuesday, one of the best deals in the biz?
Even better than $2 Tuesday is the Dog Days of Summer promotion. And some might remember last year we hit over 60% in June, July, and August for a profit of over 10,000 units. But over the last 5 years, over 60% winners for a profit of over 79,000 units. That's almost 80 grand for dime players and 8,000 bucks for $100 bettors in June, July, and August. And I do it by playing baseball, CFL, and soccer. So if you want to get those 3 months, you can get all 3 months, 90 days for half price using the promo code SAVE50.
Well, the dog days are over with that kind of deal with my man Jesse Schule. Again, check him out over at sm.buzz/JS. And why not grab that $2 play alongside Mark Zinno? Just $3. That's our gift to you every Tuesday at Sports Memo. You get not only one play, but two for the low, low price of $3. It's a game of the week from Jesse Schule. It's an MLB 62.5% angle that Mark Zinno has for folks. First 5%er at sportsmemo.com. So why not grab some of that profit you get from our guys and roll them on over to the Dog Days of Summer promotion that you can see locked and loaded on Jesse Schule's page. You can also check out the deals page at sportsmemo.com for all of those great promotions that we're running each and every day across the site. And for what it's worth, why not walk on over to wagertalk.com? My man Brian Power, who you Sports Memo fans may have been familiar with, is rocking with a 5% max bet. He is on a 5-0 run on those top-rated plays, and he's got one for you for just $2 at wagertalk.com. All right, let's welcome in our second of two here on the show. My man Moneyline Matt is joining me. Last time we were talking, we were trying to make the case, you and I both, for the LA Lakers, and they at least made it a series. Well, I guess they didn't. But hey, what are we going to do, Matt? All we do is we forgive, we forget, and we move on because I don't know if anybody saw coming, at least at the beginning, when you talk about plus money prices, that Jimmy Butler and co. were going to be making a run for the NBA Finals. Me as a Sixers fan, wasn't too sore about seeing Boston go down last evening in heartbreaking fashion. So, Matt, why don't we just start off with how do you see this series kind of shaken out? Has all the magic been used up in Miami, or do they have some left in the chamber as they face off against Jokic and the Nuggets?
Yeah, Dan, for starters, definitely not going to run from it. I really liked the Lakers last series. That blew up in my face, absolutely. And I definitely didn't see the Heat getting this done either. So was running red hot through the playoffs up until the Eastern Conference and Western Conference Finals. You know, that happens sometimes, though. And we're moving on to the NBA Finals now. Think I see this one a lot clearer. Got some good plays for everyone. And really where we're going to be starting is with the Nuggets series spread, and that's -1.5 to the Nuggets. And that's exactly where I'm going to be going here. You know, to your point, I do think a lot of this Heat magic has been used up or even overused, some might say. And now they're running into a Denver Nuggets team who is by far the most consistent throughout the entire NBA playoffs. For one, this is a Nuggets team that 4-0'd a Lakers squad that I personally thought was a great team. You know, they had LeBron James, they had Anthony Davis, they had guys like Austin Reeves kicking in 20 points, you know, guys like Rui Hachimura coming off the bench doing their thing. And personally, I just don't see that from the Miami Heat. And they also have something that could throw a little bit of a hiccup into their lineup. And that man is actually Tyler Herro. And Tyler Herro is one of the better players on the Heat. He's a 20-point game per game player. I'm sorry. But I say that because they found a real good mix, a lot of good chemistry with guys like Gabe Vincent, with guys like Caleb Martin, who are playing incredible basketball at this point in time. And, you know, if you followed myself and Ron over on the NBA Triple Double show, very often one thing that we like to do is fade the team who is reinserting a star player. And I know Tyler Herro ain't exactly a star player. He's kind of right on that fence. And if your argument is going to be Eric Spoelstra's a smart coach, he might not do that. I understand that as well. But you have another factor with the Miami Heat, and that could be something along the lines of egos. Because if Herro does not play and he's ready to play, you could have that sour guy on the bench. And then if Herro does come in and he takes minutes away from guys like Gabe Vincent or guys like Caleb Martin, you know, they could be a little sour about it as well. And I do understand this is the NBA Finals and, you know, you kind of toss egos aside. But this is basketball. These are star players. These are guys who believe in their game and want to get in there and play. And when you had that X factor, that little devil on your shoulder when you're in the NBA Finals, I think that could be a factor into how you play and how these games play out. And then in addition to that, take a look at the teams the Miami Heat have played. Okay, we started off with the Milwaukee Bucks, and the Milwaukee Bucks were potentially one of the better teams in all of basketball. But you know, you had Giannis Antetokounmpo go down early, and it kind of messed up the entire flow for that series. And you know, you compare the Bucks, you compare the Knicks, and then also that of the Celtics. And none of those teams have a dominant five like Nikola Jokic, someone who not only can score inside the paint, but has been scoring outside the paint, at the three-point line, mid-range jumper. He distributes the basketball as well. And Bam Adebayo gives up a ton of height to Nikola Jokic. He's going to have to come out and match him at the three-point line or at the mid-range because he's been knocking down those shots. And that also takes away the Miami Heat zone, because what picks apart a zone? It's a passing ability. And when you have a 7-foot center who can distribute anywhere along the court, I think that's incredibly dangerous because you can't change your defense from the Miami Heat standpoint. You're not going to be able to come and double Jokic, especially when you only have Bam Adebayo, who's 6'9", who's very athletic, but when you're 7 foot with a much longer wingspan, you know, there's a lot of things that you can do out there, and I think that makes some things incredibly dangerous. And then lastly, you know, look at the Boston Celtics. They shot one of the worst percentages behind the three-point line throughout the entire playoffs. Now you're facing a Denver Nuggets team who has been absolutely on fire from behind the arc. You got Jamal Murray, who averaged 32 points per game in the series against the Lakers. You got Michael Porter Jr. knocking down three-point shots. You got KCP, Bruce Brown. These guys are not going to miss a lot of the shots that I personally think the Boston Celtics were missing. So for me, I just see so much with this Nuggets team here. Do I think the Heat can get a game or two? Yeah, probably. They've proved me wrong the entire NBA playoffs, so I wouldn't be shocked if they do it again. But this Denver Nuggets team is a different animal. They haven't lost by double-digit points the entire playoffs. So even when they lose, they're still in the game. They're playing consistent basketball. Not something we can exactly say from the Miami Heat, you know, in the last series going against the Celtics. And if they have those games like they had in the Celtics where they just don't show up, I think the Denver Nuggets are absolutely going to beat them down. So for me, it's definitely the Denver Nuggets in the series. I love the -1.5 series spread. If I were to go anywhere, I would actually have it 4-2 Nuggets. So again, I really like this series spread. I think it's -160 right now, so a little juicy, but I think it's got a lot of great value in this spot.
I love it, and a great breakdown on how you kind of see this shaking out. Positives, negatives, you know, potential addition by subtraction or subtraction by addition in the case of Tyler Herro and what he brings to this lineup. So great breakdown there, and it all boils down to maybe just a little bit overmatched laying, not just the series price but turned it into a little bit better of a price by saying, yeah, they probably get this done with about a 2-game cushion. So love that breakdown from my man, Moneyline Matt. You can check him out, sm.buzz/MLM. You also have a plus money price that you have here for the folks on who you might be dominating on the court and who might be getting that top point scorer of the series. So it was the guy who you remember well from this Lakers series, and Jamal Murray. Why do you like him so much heading in?
Yeah, for one, this is just a great value play in my eyes. Getting Jamal Murray as the top point scorer at plus 270, to me, that's just pretty good odds. You have Nikola Jokic coming in at plus 110. That's to be expected. You have Jimmy Butler coming in at plus 170, to be expected as well. But when you break down these matchups a little bit, I actually do think that Jamal Murray has the best chance, because we're going to start with Jimmy Butler for one. And for Jimmy Butler, when you take a look at matchups, Aaron Gordon is potentially the best matchup for any small forward throughout the league. He's a big body. He's 6'8". He can move his feet well. He can block you at the rim. He rebounds well. So I think Aaron Gordon will be on Jimmy Butler the majority of the game, and he's definitely a player who can make things tough for him. He's not going to be going against a Drew Holiday, or, he's not going to be going against an RJ Barrett or someone like that. Aaron Gordon moves his feet very well. Aaron Gordon has a big body, so it's not going to be really like those past series for Jimmy Butler. At least I don't believe so. And when Jimmy Butler has to rely on his outside shot more than typical, that's generally when he struggles. So for me, I would not be on the Jimmy Butler plus 170 price tag. I think he kind of came back down to earth in that Boston Celtics series, and it wasn't exactly like that of the first series against the Milwaukee Bucks or against the Knicks. He was more so a 25-point-per-game guy, and, still very, very good, but that's something that I personally think Jamal Murray could beat, or obviously Nikola Jokic. But now we move to Nikola Jokic, who is at plus 110. Nikola Jokic is going to be the primary focus in this series. He's been playing by far, and I say by far, the best basketball of anyone throughout the NBA playoffs. He can score on anyone. He can score at any spot on the court as well. So he's definitely someone that Eric Spoelstra is going to have to throw extra attention at. I also say this because of Bam Adebayo. Bam Adebayo does move his feet very well. He's a very athletic center, but he does give up a ton of size. So they're going to need to help him in that post. And when they help Nikola Jokic, who very well could be open, that's going to be Jamal Murray. And Jamal Murray, in the Western Conference Finals, was potentially the hottest player in the finals. He's shooting at over a 50% rate. On top of that, in his last 8 games, he's gone over 30 points in 4 of those games, and he's actually gone over 35 points twice. So playing very well, and, his 3-point percentage, on top of that, he's shooting at a very high rate. Jamal Murray hit 15 of his 37 threes in the Western Conference Finals in only 4 games on top of that. And the last game, he went 0 for 4. So 15 of those threes came from those first 3 games. And, we all saw this in the last series. When Jamal Murray is hot, man, that guy does not miss. There's not many players like it who, maybe a Devin Booker or something like that, who just absolutely has a way of filling it up, where it's like every shot that he takes, you feel like it's going to go in. And not many players can get a heater like that. And Jamal Murray is one of them. So for me, just getting that price tag at the plus 270, I think that's some great value. I think a ton of the attention is going to be on Jimmy Butler and Nikola Jokic. And then I think that guy who might be a little bit behind the scenes is going to be Jamal Murray. We just saw him have that 32.5 point per game series against the Los Angeles Lakers, who are a very good defensive team. And I know the Heat are a very good defensive team, but they're more so slow it down style, when the Nuggets actually like to get out and run and push the pace as much as possible. You see Jokic get that rebound, push it up the court immediately, hit someone with that outlet pass, and a lot of the time it is Jamal Murray. And then lastly, my last point being, that matchup once again with Nikola Jokic and Bam Adebayo, they're going to want to run a lot of pick and roll with Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic to get Bam switching and to try and get better matchups, things like that. If you go under that screen, Jamal Murray's going to be pick and popping a lot of those threes. So I think that high pick and roll with those two is going to be very important this series. And because of that, I give Jamal Murray as good of a chance as anyone to be the top point scorer at plus 270 over on FanDuel right now.
Yeah, when he has as good a choice as any, and you can get that at just under 3-1. That's not too bad. Jamal Murray is the top point scorer, according to my man Moneyline Matt. Make sure you check him out at sm.buzz/MLM. Also, check out the deals page over at SportsMemo so you get all of the great promotions that we're rocking each and every week here at SportsMemo. And that's going to do it. Big thanks to Jesse Schule. Big thanks to Moneyline Matt and my main man Eric doing a terrific job behind the scenes. We will be back locked and loaded on a Thursday edition, talking to Nick Parsons from the Insider's Room and talking with Matt Josephs. That's mid-major Matt. Probably might even have some college football looks for you already with the work that he's putting in. So don't miss that. All we ask you to do, if you like the show, hop below in the comments. Let us know if you agree, if you disagree, what you're going to be betting on this evening and through the week. And then hit that little bell. Never miss any of the great shows we have here at Sports Memo TV and Wager Talk TV. And then you won't miss our edition this coming Thursday. But until then, best of luck. I've been your host, Dan Alexander, and we'll see you back here on Thursday, locked and loaded on Sports Memo Today.